The courtroom was supposed to be a place of truth, but on that day, it became a stage for the boldest lie anyone had ever witnessed. A black man stood at the defendant's table, calm yet surrounded by whispers, as two officers gave testimony that twisted reality into something dangerous. Their voices carried confidence, their story precise, their prejudice hidden behind polished badges. But what they didn't know was that the man they were trying to destroy wasn't who they thought he was. One reveal would shatter the entire courtroom. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. Marcus Halle lived a life defined by discipline and purpose. At 33, he carried himself with quiet strength, shaped by years of service as an undercover FBI agent. Few knew his real identity. Secrecy wasn't just part of the job, it was the job. To his neighbors, he was the polite man who jogged early, worked late, and kept to himself. To his colleagues, he was one of the Bureau's best at reading danger before it arrived. On his only day off in weeks, Marcus planned to visit his mother. This woman raised him with resilience and unwavering moral clarity. But a quick stop at a convenience store changed everything. He walked in for water and walked out handcuffed by two officers who claimed he matched a suspect. He expected a misunderstanding to clear itself. Instead, he found himself trapped in a system that assumed guilt before facts. And the real battle was only beginning. From the moment Marcus was taken into custody, the tone was wrong. The officers were too confident, too rehearsed, too eager. One kept insisting Marcus had been seen fleeing a burglary. Another claimed Marcus resisted arrest. Neither accusation was true, but Marcus understood the danger of escalating even an inch. He stayed silent, steady, and controlled. He knew the wrong reaction could cost him far more than dignity. Hours passed. No evidence was shown. No investigation was done. Instead, a narrative was crafted thin, yet supported by men who wore authority like armor. Marcus requested to make a call, but it was denied. He asked for a supervisor. They ignored him. They assumed he was alone. They assumed he was powerless. They never imagined the truth. Marcus was known at the federal level, respected and deeply connected. When the case moved to court, Marcus expected the truth to emerge quickly. But the officers doubled down. Their lies became elaborate, woven with false confidence. They described events that never happened. Moments they claimed Marcus threatened them, imaginary witnesses, and fabricated resistance. The prosecutor, convinced by their badges, pushed hard for charges. Marcus watched it all unfold with controlled calm, but inside, a storm was building. This wasn't about mistaken identity anymore. This was about power misused and accountability avoided. Still, Marcus said nothing. Not yet. He wanted every word, every lie, every detail recorded under oath. He wanted the truth to strike at the moment it would matter most. And that moment was approaching fast. The courtroom grew tense as the officers finished their testimony, their faces steady with practiced confidence. They pointed at Marcus with the certainty of men who believed they could never be questioned. The prosecutor asked the judge to consider maximum penalties. Whispers rippled through the room, people believing the uniform over the man. Then, Marcus rose slowly, calm, steady, unshaken. With the judge's permission, he reached into his folder, pulled out a leather case, and opened it. The gold seal caught the light first. Then came the letters. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Gasps filled the courtroom. The officers froze, their confidence dissolving instantly. Marcus had been silent, not out of fear but strategy. And now, the truth hit with the force of a hammer. The judge's expression shifted sharply as Marcus explained who he was, what he did, and why he allowed the lies to unfold before speaking. The courtroom transformed from a place of accusation to a spotlight exposing corruption. The officers were removed in disgrace, their testimony rejected, and an immediate internal investigation was launched. Marcus walked out a free man, but not untouched. The experience served as a painful reminder that even with status, training, and federal authority, he was still vulnerable to racial profiling, yet he chose not to remain silent afterward. His case ignited discussions across the city, sparking reforms and raising questions about how many people without power had suffered similar injustices. And now the question remains, if this could happen to an FBI agent, what about everyone else? Where are you watching from, country and city? Take care.